Hello friends, in this video we'll go through ReLU activation function, we'll take examples and we'll also go through the what are variants of ReLU. So let us see what is ReLU. ReLU means Rectified Linear Unit. It is the most commonly used activation function in artificial neural network as well as deep learning. And it is specially used in hidden layers of the deep learning. So whenever you want complex calculation, then ReLU activation function is used. So ReLU is actively used in deep learning, and especially I told you it is used in hidden layers of the deep learning. So what is the formula for ReLU? Suppose ReLU of x is equal to x if x is greater than equal to 0 and 0 if x is less than 0. So the formula is ReLU of x is equal to max of x. That is the output of ReLU varies from 0 to x, that is 0 to max. So what is the advantage? It allow positive value to pass unchanged and set negative value to 0. Suppose if you want to calculate ReLU of 4, so it will the formula will be j is equal to max of 0 comma 4. So what is the maximum value? Maximum value is 4. So that's why output will be 4. So it is simple and computationally efficient activation function. It is the most efficient activation function. It helps to maintain non-linearity in the neural network. So since the output varies from 0 to max, that's why it is very popular, and it reduces the vanishing gradient problem as compared to older functions. So it cannot saturate very easily. So that's why this activation function is very popular. Now what is next? Next is definition of the ReLU. So definition is ReLU of x is equal to max of 0 comma x. So for negative input, the output will be 0. For 0 input, output will be 0. And for positive input, output will be the same, which is nothing but the max value. So this is how the ReLU works. So let us see how ReLU works. Suppose the value of z is minus 4, that is output of the neuron is minus 4. It is passed to activation function. So ReLU of minus 4 is 0 because if you calculate the ReLU of max comma 0 comma 0 comma minus 4, so maximum value is 0. So for negative value, the ReLU output is always 0. But if you want to find out z of z is equal to 5, ReLU of 5 is 5 because max of 0 comma 5 is 5. So this is how the ReLU works. So let us see the ReLU in neuron. So here the input are given x1 is equal to 2, x2 is equal to minus 1, weight is also given w1 3, w2 2. So it is passed to the neuron and a bias is also added. So z is equal to wn x1 plus w2 x2 plus b. So here you will find the value of z is 0. So here if you want to calculate the ReLU of 0, ReLU of 0 is also 0. So this is how you can calculate or you can use the ReLU in neuron. Now derivative of the ReLU. So here we know the ReLU function. Therefore, f dash of x is equal to 0 if x is less than 0, and f dash of x is equal to 1 if x is greater than 0. So ReLU is not technically differentiable. It is same as that of ReLU function. Now let us see next problem, dying ReLU problem. Suppose there are two neurons. Uh, So z is equal to minus 5. So ReLU of minus 5 is also 0. ReLU dash of x, ReLU dash of minus 5 is also 0. So therefore gradient through this neuron is 0. So suppose there are multiple layers. So 0 is passed. Suppose there are multiple layers. At one layer the input is 0. So that again next input will be passed. Then again 0 will be passed to next layer. Then 0 will be passed to next layer. So you can see the output of every layer is 0. So what will happen if the output is 0, the network may stop learning. So that's why this problem is known as dying ReLU problem. When z is always negative, the ReLU output is 0, derivative is 0, so gradient also flow back. So weights will not be updated and network may stop learning. So it is known as dead neuron problem. So this problem is known as dying ReLU problem. So we can overcome this problem in in next few images. I will tell you how to overcome this dying neuron problem. So let us see one example, ReLU in multi-layer neural network. So suppose here there is Z1, Z2, Z3, Z4. So output here is Z1, Z1 minus 2, Z2 4, Z3 6, Z4 minus 1. So if it is passed to ReLU, what will happen? For minus 2, the output will be 0. For 4, it will be 4. Then for 6, it will be 6. And then for minus 1, it will be 0. So this is how the this value will be passed to next layer. And this is how the ReLU can be used in multi-layer neural network. Then let us see what are the variants of ReLU and how to how to overcome the dying ReLU problem. First is leaky ReLU. So what is leaky ReLU? In leaky ReLU, if the value of z is less than 0, here we have added one parameter, that is alpha, and alpha value is constant. So alpha value varies from 0 to 1. Here is the example. Suppose you calculate the value of z, w1 x1 plus w2 x2 plus b. So here leaky ReLU will apply leaky ReLU of z. So and here the value of alpha is 0.01. So what will happen? If you calculate the value, it is 2 into 0.01. So that is minus 0.02. So for 4, it will be 4. For 6, it will be 6. And for minus 1, so minus 1 will be multiplied with alpha, that is minus 0.01. So this is how these values are passed. And we can overcome the leaky ReLU. We can overcome the dying ReLU problem. Next is parametric ReLU. In leaky ReLU, the value of alpha is fixed, but in what happens in parametric ReLU, alpha is the learning parameter that control the slope of negative input. So alpha is learning parameter here. In leaky ReLU, alpha is fixed. So that is the difference between leaky ReLU and parametric ReLU. So you can see the slope here if the value is less than 0 in parametric ReLU. So now let us see the difference between ReLU and parametric ReLU. So ReLU function is given like this: x for x is greater than equal to 0, output is x. For parametric ReLU, we have added here alpha for negative value. So let us see the formula here. Formula is given. Formula we have discussed. Negative slope, the value is 0. But in parametric ReLU, the alpha is learn parameter. So for gradient x is equal to 0, in ReLU the output is also 0, but here it is alpha. Learnable parameter, in ReLU there is no learnable parameter, but there is alpha as a learnable parameter. What is the advantage? Advantage is it is simple and computationally coefficient ReLU, but parametric ReLU it allows gradient flow for negative values also. So disadvantage is cons is in ReLU there is dying ReLU problem, but in parametric ReLU it is slightly more complex. We can overcome the dying ReLU problem in parametric ReLU. Next is exponential ReLU. The formula is exponential linear unit, that is ELU. ELU adds the smoothness by introducing non-zero slope for negative value. So here we have added one exponential value. So ELU of x is equal to x for x greater than equal to 0. And alpha exponential of x minus 1. So here x is input, alpha is positive constant. Okay, so here what we did, we have added one exponential component. The advantage is it reduces the bias shift. The curve can be smooth and continuous. You can get the faster convergence, means algorithm will stop early. Okay, so these are the advantages of exponential linear unit. So if x is equal to minus 4, ELU of x is equal to minus 9.82. So again here we are overcoming the disadvantage of dying ReLU problem. So if x is equal to minus 2, this is the value. If x is equal to minus 1, it is minus 0.632. So here you can see there is no dying ReLU problem in ELU also. Now let us see the ReLU versus ELU. So this is the formula. The x will be same for x greater than equal to 0, but here for negative value we have added alpha into exponential of x minus 1. So the difference is for negative value, the ReLU give output as 0, but ELU give negative values. So at continuity at x is equal to 0, not smooth. Here you can find the smooth curve, S-shaped curve. Bias shift can be large. Here bias shift we can reduce dead neuron. Here we can see in ReLU there is dying ReLU problem, but here it is very less, chances is very less. Convergence is good, but in ELU give faster convergence as compared to ReLU. So this is the difference between ReLU and ELU. Now next is when to use ReLU. Suppose we want to handle sparse data, then we can use ReLU. Here you can see the most of the values are negative, so we can make it as 0. So in this case we can use the ReLU. Then faster convergence. So ReLU accelerate training by preventing saturation for positive inputs and enhancing gradient flow. So for positive value, you will get always maximum value. So you will get the faster convergence of the algorithm. So in these cases, we can use the ReLU. Now where ReLU is used, what are the applications of ReLU? We can use in ANN, we can use in convolutional neural network for image classification, for object detection, for computer vision, and many deep. If the very the neural network is very deep, then we can use ReLU. Then generative AI models, then transfer learning. So so whenever there is any complex situation, we can use um, ReLU. So ReLU is very important activation function in the deep learning. Now next is what is the difference between sigmoid, tanh, and ReLU. So let us see the difference one by one. So here the you can see the in sigmoid output range is 0 to 1. For tanh it is -1 to 1. For ReLU it is 0 to infinity. Then curve is a shape, and for tanh also it is a shape, and for ReLU it is piecewise linear. Okay, so it is not zero center. Sigmoid is not zero center. Then you can see uh, tanh it is zero center, and ReLU is also not zero center. It suffers from sigmoid suffers from vanishing gradient problem. Then there is saturation. It is again less vanishing. It has also vanishing gradient problem because it will saturate here, but it does not have any. It helps to reduce vanishing gradient problem. Okay, so it will not ReLU will not vanish easily, and that is it will not saturate easily. So it is used in output layer of binary classification. It is used in hidden layer, and ReLU is also used in hidden layer. So these are the differences between sigmoid, tanh, and ReLU. So that's it for this video. I do hope you understand ReLU activation function. If you like the video, then please subscribe, like, and share. Thank you.